The Creator expresses and reveals himself through his creation. Some of creation, people included, express more about him, or you could say relate more about him, than others. We must make a distinction between the expression and the one being expressed, the Creator, the revelation, and the one being revealed, the Creator. The Creator is not able to be comprehended by created things. It is impossible to truly understand what he is. Therefore, we come to know him by understanding what he is not, and by realizing that there is one who controls nature and one who is behind the mechanisms of creation. We believe that he is one, and that to this one alone are we to pray. Only to him are we to serve with all of our heart, with all of our life, and with all of our resources. To do so towards any other thing, anything which is created, anything contained within time or space, or subject to any of the affections or factors, properties of time and space, is idolatry. For anything subject to time and space or any of its properties is not the Creator, but something created. None of the following attributes or aspects of the Almighty, which I'm about to go through, represent any parts or distinctions within his oneness. When we speak of the reality of his being, we must realize that all of the aspects or attributes of the Creator are one and the same without any distinction. His existence and his being are all the same. There's simply no plurality whatsoever with regard to his being. All of his attributes are either one and the same as his being itself, and we're limited in our human language to express this, so therefore it is expressed in multiple words, or we are speaking of a different type of attribute which is actually not related to him at all, insofar as his actual being or existence, but rather are attributes regarding the expression of his will within creation to mankind, such as compassion and angry and wrathful, etc., etc. These things do not express plurality within his being whatsoever, nor are they intrinsic to his being, but rather are ways in which man relates to the way his will is expressed in creation. So if he wills that there be death, we call this judgment or wrath. If he wills that there be life or plentiful rain and sustenance for a people, we call this compassion and grace. A change in compassion and grace, or wrath, from wrath to anger, and from wrath or anger, or from anger to mercy, these do not reflect changes in the Creator's being at all. The Creator does not actually become angry or suddenly compassionate. He does not have emotions like a human being. These are all changes. If this were the case, he would be subject to time, and therefore could not have created time. Rather, the Almighty changing from wrathful to compassionate and whatever other attribute related to creation we may refer to, all of these only reflect changes in the expression of his will towards us, which is only due to changes that already occurred in us. So if we were bad, and judgment falls upon us, and then suddenly we decide to change ourselves, and then we see good occurring, it changes us, not the Creator. His will stayed the same, but the way that it's expressed or manifest has changed. Of course, this is a complicated issue. Anyway, since everything within creation is in some way plural, consequently, even when discussing his absolute unity, we are forced to use a plurality of words. This is simply because of the limitations of human language and the human mind. This limitation itself testifies to the incomparability of his unity, since words are created, but he is not. We must know that he transcends all created things. This is among the highest attributes, so to speak, that we can relate regarding the Almighty, but also this being a word is limited. He transcends all created things, neither time, space, nor any other factor of creation applied to him. He is not subject to anything except his own unchanging self. Therefore we say that he is eternal, all-powerful with absolute power, meaning all-knowing, meaning he has absolute knowledge. We say he's alive, but not alive in a way comparable to us. He's self-existent, without any properties necessary for his own sustenance. He's all-sufficient. He needs aid from nothing. He is the absolute creator, the master creator and sustainer of all forms of existence. He is all authoritative. All truth, justice, and rights depend on his will, not on our own. He is absolutely independent. He is not influenced and is without any antecedent. He is not material or incorporeal. He is not within time or space. He is without any form or body. He is not male, nor is he female, or any combination of the two, or any other gender one may conceive. He is not spatial. He is not located anywhere in space. He is not contained, nor does he feel anything. He is not a force in any physical body, nor is he in some way actually located outside of space. The very concept of space and time simply do not apply to his being. He is invisible, naturally, but not invisible such as air, which can be examined. He is invisible since he is not physical, and he can never and will never be seen. He is immutable, meaning that he does not change, since change is dependent upon factors of physical reality, time, space, and motion. He transcends all these. Any change regarding him would mean imperfection. He has no need for motion. He has no need to take up space or any of these other factors of creation. The Creator is without partners. He is alone. For plurality can only apply to existences subject to time, space, and other factors of creation. Additionally, a need for a partner or partners would mean that he would be lacking, incomplete, or imperfect, thus negating his being all-sufficient, all-powerful, independent, as well as incorporeality. Plural independent wills equal in transcendence simply cannot exist together. They would cancel each other's power out, or else one would be more powerful than the other, in which case one of them would not truly be transcendent. He knows our thoughts and needs without the use of a mediator or middleman, and his mercy, compassion, and grace are sufficient without the help of another. He is one. A person can know, due to the above, that no form or concept of a plurality, plural unity, or compound unity apply to him in any way. For any concept of plurality can apply only to existences that are subject to time and space, and the other factors of physical existence. But he, blessed is he, transcends all these. Therefore we know, and therefore we say, that he is one, in absolute transcendent unity. For there is no other way to indicate this in any language. Yet he is not a numerical one, which could be pointed to or counted. If we were to say he is zero, then it would be implied that he does not exist. But his existence is more absolute and true than any other. For all depend upon him for existence, but he depends on nothing. Nothing comes from zero. One precedes two or any other plurality. One precedes all else, and one should we serve.